Welcome back, Blade fans. This old sword, you got it. That is me, and welcome to a review of my first Liong knife. And it is a budget knife, if you can believe that. Yes, the man who makes designs knives in the $400 to $500 range usually has given us a knife that is in the high 80s, as I recall. I'll give you the link, though, before we're done. It is this one, the big E for Eutektik. Eutektik. And I have to give credit to Frankie and Bird and their channel for introducing me to this knife, which I didn't know about. And I think they interviewed Liong at Blade Show 2023 in Atlanta. So at least I think it was that one, because these were on display along with his higher end stuff. Okay, that being said, what have we got here? We have a large knife. Yes, coming in at about 3 3/4 inch blade length with a large slot opening hole, really a real good size hole. And it is a tri-opener. I'm going to coin that word if someone else hasn't already. It is a opening hole knife. By the way, the detent is on the light side. It's a back flipper. And it is a front flipper with some good jimping, and do some compares with some other knives that are also a front flipper and a hole opener a little bit later, so you get a compare. Just about the right size flipper tab. Excellent jimping. Doesn't rake the finger, doesn't really abrade your skin too much. And this one is in a gray blue or blue gray handle color. It comes in a variety of other handle colors. And the other thing you are going to notice is a very prominent choil area there for your finger. So yeah, you can creep up and get really close with this one, putting pressure on the edge for cutting cardboard, meat, opening your packages, what have you. We do have a clip that will transfer to the left side. The only thing I don't care for is, why not use flat-headed screws? There are other companies out there that are using them regularly, including even Petrified Fish and some of the other budget lines. So I think that would make a perfect deep carry clip if you didn't have those two mushroom heads sitting up there. Now, I tried it in and out of the pocket, and it is not bad, because, well, it's a pretty tight tension on the clip. But it was going in and out of the pocket pretty well, even up over those screws. So I'm not going to dwell on that much longer, but that's my feeling on it. Flat-headed screws, guys, that's the way to go. Lanyard hole. And G10, a very slim profile, not too thick a blade, but thick enough that it carries the point out there substantially. A very high flat grind that is slicey for sure. Nice jimping on the back. Grippy enough. I mean, he hits all the points that I like in an EDC knife. And it is extremely lightweight. We're going to catch the weight in just a moment. See if I can tone down the flashlight here a little bit. So actually no need for weight relieving on this guy. We got solid G10 on one side, and we've got a nested liner on the other side with a nice relief just about right, and some jimping there to be able to release it, and it's virtually drop shut. Haven't added any oil or what have you. Now, full length of this knife overall is 8.5 inches, we're going to say. Yeah. And 3 3/4, maybe just a little shy of that, right out to the handle with a cutting edge of I like a 3.3. In inches, let's check this out. 0.47 inches across the handle. 0.11 on the blade, which in millimeters is what? 3 millimeters. Good blade stock for a light EDC knife. And I keep saying light, so let's check it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 3.46 ounces, call it 4.7, call it 3.5. 3.5 ounces. So do we have an ounce per inch? Oh, why do I mention that? We certainly do. We're under an ounce per inch. 3 3/4 inch blade, 3.5 ounce knife. Big old opening hole there. And can we feel it? Yeah. It is not a strong detent, but just a little bit more and it swings right out. I would say you have to really try hard to feel it because it breaks nicely, and that's the key. You can have a light detent, but if it breaks all at once, it's going to fly out. And you can see the front flipper tab there, not really a tab, but a kind of an arc. If you place your thumb right here and go, that time the tab hit me in the finger. This happens sometimes with these knives that have three-way openings, particularly kind of a contest between the top flipper tab and that front. Because if you position your hand here, you have to make sure that your finger is not up on the back of that, or you're going to make an obstacle of yourself, as they say. So there you can see the transition from the jimping on the back of the blade, which is used here, to the jimping on the tang of the blade, which is used to open it. I'm not a big front flipper fan. It isn't, there are people more dexterous than me that can do it easily and prefer it. I like the flipper tab. It's right there. It's an easy motion. Just to light switch it back, not a problem whatsoever. And you've got an opening hole here besides. So if you didn't want to scare all your friends, then, you know, you just roll it open like using a thumb stud. Or middle finger flick it very easily. Okay, so if I didn't mention it, it's 14C, minimally billboarded. We've got that nice E logo on the pivot. It's telling you that it is the Eutektik line, by the way. You get this box, pretty standard box that you see with Wii and Best Tech knives and so forth. Nothing fancy there. And we do have a pouch, so you don't see these anymore too often for knives below $100, but there it is, complete with kind of like a fleece interior. And it's nice. I don't know that the branding, I think the branding's kind of modern, maybe, kind of, you know, a little bit on the plain side. But there is the Eutektik. Here is another large opening hole knife. This is the Brahma, I believe, from Damn Designs. Yes, it's the Brahma, and it's in the white G10, and it is a shorter knife by maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. Also has that large opening hole, also 14C 28N, and with a heavy, heavy stonewash on that one. Finish on this one is what I would call a light stonewash. You can see it there. You can see the difference there between a real heavy grayish stonewash and that lighter stonewash. Blades on these guys, well, first of all, Handles are very close, but they are stuffing a longer blade. You can see that. Into the Eutektik. There you go, Eutektik on the top. So when this knife is closed, check it out. Lots and lots of blade in that handle. What they did here on the Brahma is, you can see we've got a lot more handle left over. Still, I like what Dam Designs is doing with their folding knives, and they're making some fixed blades now as well. Another compare, this is the Cobalt 2 by Kaiser, designed by Sebastian Irawan. This is an unusual knife. I'd say it's a little more of a bead, I don't know if it's a bead blast, it's kind of shiny. And it is 154 cm. I brought these out because they have the opening hole, but you can see that we've got a significantly, well, about the same as on the Brahma. It's a little shorter hole than on the Brahma, and slightly easier to get your finger in than the Brahma. Slightly. I'd say the Brahma is pretty close with regards to ease of opening with the finger hole. This knife, by the way, also comes in an aluminum handle and 3V. So 3.5 ounce knife, under a ½ inch, well under a ½ inch, deep carry, with the exception of those screws. What are you going to do? Really, lots of ways you can hold this. I mean, you can be back here. There's a full-size knife with about 3/4 of an inch left over. You can use like so. You have to tip up a little bit. You've got a good belly on this knife, as you can see. A good even belly. I think the blade profile is very nicely done. Now, it's been out for a while. I think it was first introduced, I think I've seen some reviews going back almost a year on this. And then it finally came into production, and it is still out there in all different handle colors. I think there's a red and the yellow and the blue and the green. I like the more muted, subdued gray-blue. And if we compare this to the venerable Rat 1, the Rat 1 is a longer knife. What do you know? And its blade, however, is the same. So we're putting more blade into less of a handle with the Eutektik. Finally, if I can find it under the pile of boxes, here is the Griptilian. And Griptilian falls about a ½ inch short overall, and about the same on the blade. So again, 3 3/4, lightweight, ounce per inch easily. And if you like a nice thin knife for your pocket, this might be the one. 14C, love it all day long. There you have it, the Eutektik by Liong. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. I'll be back soon. Take care.